Exactly. Mr. Valiappa, I want to ask you this question. You know, there was this grand idea, and I'll ask this to Mr. Harish Bujur also. The grand concept of Bengaluru, the IT capital, the IT hub, the advent of jobs, many multinational companies coming here. What comes to your mind when you see images of these multinational company employees, CEOs, having to sit in tractors, with all due respect to those tractors, because they're saving people today, having to sit in tractors and having to go to work or leave their house or doing all sorts of things? What does this say of a city which cannot sustain the very dream that was sold?
Yeah, in many ways, I think it's a picture of Bangalore crying in a way. I mean, the rains are literally weeping from that perspective. It is a sad state, but let's look at it also. In 75 years, we've never had so much rain in September. So, I mean, it is an exceptional case. But what's befitting is that, like, you know, how much like this question was asked to the Chief Minister during the Legislative Assembly, and he did mention that there were 382 acres of land that was drains that were encroached in Bangalore. And that is what he had come out and said. And then 1,900 cases have been filed. So hope the courts perhaps would set up a fast track, because I mean, these are people at stake. It's not just the people who build the houses, but the other people, the society is at stake. So maybe this 1,900 cases should be heard in fast track or something. If it needs to be demolished, it needs to get demolished. And there are about 842 kilometers of drains around Bangalore, and I think half of them have been addressed. The other half have not been addressed. And like was said earlier, like, you know, every major city in the world is next to an ocean or a river. And Bangalore is a city of lakes. That's how traditionally it is. And we need to create, there are drains which take the water to these lakes. But the lakes are overflowing, and they are overflowing back into these drains. So there needs to be an exit path into these drains. I mean, that's what is needed. I mean, from an IT standpoint, Bangalore is still the hub spot of talent around the world. Bangalore is still a technological superpower. So, and I hope that will continue as well. But what we need to do is to take fast action. And then from a technology standpoint, like, as an IT person, we need to create a blockchain of corruption, right? So the Twin Towers that we saw in Delhi being demolished is great. But what about the people who have gone forward? So those are things that we need to start taking. If people are allowed a sanction in a drain, and who is the officer which took that? So unless we take action on that, because
wow, what a lovely suggestion.
Speaking about it,
fantastic solution.
We forget it. So.
I mean, trust a person from the IT city to come with an innovative tech-related solution. That's a very, very interesting point. In fact, shouldn't IT experts start working on something like this with the cooperation? I'm going to ask this. We're going to ask this question of the government also.